Brittany. Confining to it, taking the global view of intoxication, as the drug epidemic continues painstakingly seep into the social and cultural aspects of the world, even it affects the whole world, and which we can say as it naturally trickles into the younger generation of the society, and also it towards the success of the nation's future. The colleagues, I'm saying that there is no any scientific acknowledgement about, there is no any scientific acknowledgement of safe limit of these kinds of consumption of alcohol, especially when it concerns the youngsters, when it concerns the teenagers who are the vulnerable contingent. The colleagues, well, we all are seeing the education institutions as the place for acquiring knowledge, as the place for attaining personal development. I'm taking my fingers to the point that as everything, it also contains two streets. It can be used for the positive side, and also it can be used for the negative side. And I'm taking my fingers to the point that the public schoolings can be turned ironically into the breeding grounds of the addicts. It means it has great part while spreading this addiction to the whole knocks of the world. Dear colleagues, we should understand about this. It spreads in and out of the classrooms, and also it spreads from the teenagers, it spreads from the peer groups as well as the colleagues. I'm taking my fingers to the point that the striking and horrifying consequences of these using alcohols, of these using drugs, which we can say as intoxication. As I'm saying here that these kinds of using of alcohols and also using of drugs, it contains a lot of health issues. It affects your brain, it affects your body as well as, but I'm saying here that it affects mentally, it affects physically, it affects emotionally, it affects financially, and also it can be said that it creates gap in between your relationship. It creates violence in between a family. It creates the imbalance in between a relationship, family, neighborhood, so on. Dear colleagues, a lot of studies, we can understand the threads which are behind those kinds of things. So I'm saying that it affects healthly issues, but the striking consequence of this is that none other but is the fatal outcomes. We can see a lot of news which is related with the fatal outcomes. Even it affects dangerously, it creates dangerous outcomes while it becomes at the time of driving. Why I'm saying that one of the studies says that the fatal crashes which has happened by driving, by involving the alcohol, it was twice greater in between the age of 16 and 20. It is really twice greater than at the age of 21 and older. So dear colleagues, you should understand the danger side of this alcohol, using of alcohols. So I'm saying the bad side of this using of alcohol is none other but it's that the involvement of the parents. Even the parents are involved with their students in the wedding parties, in the many other parties, so on. One of the study told that 25% of the involved, 25% of the using of alcohol is by the involvement of the parents. It is a really striking consequence. We should understand that. And also, one of the other studies saying that the 35% of the using of alcohol is within any other reasons, but it's saying that they are using the alcohol as a fun, and they are seeing it as a symbol of maturity. You should understand to where the world is going and the after effects of those things. So I'm saying again and again that it has a lot of consequences. It affects emotionally. Even that while it affects the family like violence, as I said before, that it affects one of the striking consequences of those kinds of using alcohol, of those using drugs, is none other. It creates violence, and also it creates many other problems in between the family members, because that many people of the society, they are using, but many families of the society, even the mother and parent, both of them are using alcohol. Even they are motivating them. And also one of the funny thing is that even they are standing with them as a supportive. This is really a critical stage of this using of alcohol, especially in our state Kerala. So you should understand about the dangerous sides of those things. So even it affects financially, like it raises the poverty, it raises many other things. So we can see a lot of awareness of the world from the world of the awareness that which creates a lot of disasters which is related with these kinds. As one of the news I heard before some days that 3 adolescents were drowned into the lake. The reason was none other, but they have drank the alcohol or drink with the support of their family. And also another girl broke her neck subsequently after stumbling to the stairwell. So as well as, so concluding, I'm saying that we should bring some types of de-addict centers for improving or for avoiding these kinds of things. And as a personal view, let me say that we should bring, or the world should try to study the psychological method of prophetic way of prohibiting drugs. It's a great thing, as the Quran announced that in the Malhamr wal Mais as well as. So that's all. I don't want to say no more. Discover a center that could change you and your one's life. That's all. I don't want to exaggerate my words. Words are numerous, but time is more and more precious. So I conclude my words. Thank you. Have a nice day.